let's talk about some other trig functions. Secant, cosecant, and cotangent. So these trig functions are kind of, I personally think they're kind of pointless just because secant of x is just equal to 1 over cos of x. Cosecant of x is just equal to 1 over sine of x, and cotangent of x is just equal to 1 over tangent of x. So people just created, like, whenever you got a 1 divided by sine of x, they defined that as a new function. I feel like that's kind of redundant, but it comes up, so just be familiar with the vocabulary. So let's just first let's talk about some tricks to remember about this. So secant goes with cosine. You might be tempted to think secant goes with sine because they're both s's, but that's not how it works. The s and the c's flip around. So just remember, cos does not go with the other thing that starts with a c. It goes with the thing that you think should go with sine. It goes with secant. Then sine goes with not the thing that starts with an s, but the thing that starts with a c. So cosecant. And then cotangent and tangent is pretty easy to remember, just because they both have tangent in the name. Another thing you can think of is that, like, each pair only has a single co in it. So secant, that doesn't have a co in it, but cosecant, but cosine has a co in it. Also, cosecant has a co in it, but sine does not have a co in it. Cotangent has a co, but tangent does not have a co. So whatever works best for you, maybe a combination of all that information. Just try to remember the matchings. So let's say that we had something like, cosine squared x times sine squared x over, actually no, let's do 1 over cosine squared x sine squared x. So we could write that as 1 over cosine x times 1 over cosine x times 1 over sine x times 1 over sine x. So these would all become secant x times secant x, then cosecant x times cosecant x. So secant squared x, cosecant squared x. So these would be equivalent ways of saying the same thing. Let's do another example. Let's say that we had something kind of ugly like cosecant x over cotangent x times secant x. So I think it's easiest just to convert everything into sines and cosines. So we can write this as, let's just write cosecant x times 1 over cotangent x times 1 over secant of x. Cosecant of x, that's 1 over sine of x. This is tangent of x. And then secant x. So another thing to know, since secant x equals 1 over cosine x, then cosine x equals 1 over secant x, and sine x equals 1 over cosecant x, tan x equals 1 over cotangent x. So this is just another word for cos x. And if we just convert everything into sines and cosines, 1 over sine x times sine x over cos x times cos x, well, the sines cancel, cosines cancel. So this is just equal to 1. This thing, that is just equal to 1. No matter what angle you plug in there, it's just going to come out to 1. Unless you make the denominator 0, then it's undefined. But we usually don't worry about that when we're just simplifying trig expressions. Yeah, so that's the other, that's all the trig functions there is.